Yes. You can now say hello to everybody on Facebook.
Hello, everybody on Facebook. This is where the live cam is.
Right here.
Oh.
So this here's our Facebook stream. This is for later. We're running multiple things right now. So I'm just, and it's okay for you to tune and play along in the background, when I get
just all right. Maybe it needs to be quieter.
Oh, as far as I'm concerned, that's just cool background noise.
It's just reality.
So you control the volume. There's a little knob down there, and we'll go in about 3 minutes.
Sweet.
Really appreciate you doing this.
Oh, I appreciate the opportunity. I love doing stuff like this, and I love your show, obviously.
Oh, you're way too nice.
It's just a great show.
So if it's too low, you can just turn the knob until the volume's where you want it to be. I tend to keep it like fairly low level here. But of course, it's also really awesome. We live in such a great town with tons of terrific music.
Right.
I mean, any night of the week or like a couple of weekends, you're like, I cannot be in 3 places at once.
Right.
As far as I know. There might be.
Try.
I have show bounced on more than one occasion. If
Yeah,
you're
I've
bouncing
definitely
from
seen
like
you in-
Bob's, OE,
Right.
Yellow Cab, or a trolley stop, you can do some of that bouncing, but then when you look at stuff like Oscars, then it gets tricky.
Oh yeah. I can't even work that out logistically for myself. But I know I've seen you at multiple shows in one night.
We have done it. It's kind of one of those fun things where we're like, okay, we can't hit everything, but we're going to do our best at as much as we can. So that's like where I will ask, so what's door and what's really start time? Because if you start later, that
Right.
works for me.
Then you can actually set your schedule.
Exactly, yeah. I know, it's terrible. It's because we'll start somewhere where there's food.
Yeah. Get
But I'm
dinner.
sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, sometimes what I hate about festivals is like there's multiple stages of
Yeah,
festivals,
and it's all the same time, yeah.
sometimes there's like just a few acts that I really want to see, and some of them are playing at the same time. So
Oh, isn't that always the way? The ones you're really super excited about are always at the same time.
yeah, so you have to decide like whose set do you think would be better to start with, and whose set to end with.
Yeah, you gotta, or there are days where you just flip the coin.
Right.
Yeah, I have to admit that I'm equal opportunity. I'll go anywhere. Like when a couple of bands play out of town, like folks will play the Comet in Cincinnati or Northside Tavern,
Right.
or like we went with Smug Brothers to Morgantown, West Virginia.
Oh,
just
yeah.
because, and we
think
just
Don
looked at each
Crasher
other and
told me
said,
about
"Let's
this."
do it."
I get to have a little mini vacation that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Road trip. And
Well, okay, go in about 30, 40 seconds.
awesome.
And I should just double check. Further in, farther out.
Further in and farther. Yeah. But if it goes backwards, I don't mind.
The amazing Kylene Downs, who has a terrific new record called Friends. Oh, that is just a fantastic EP. Love her to pieces. You also heard Jackson Pines with New Eyes, a new discovery for us here on your Tuesday afternoon alternative. Dayton's own A Voice of Your Own with American Girls. Brand new music from Loot Student with New Thing. Partners in Crime Second Best has a new album coming out on Friday. And the Boxcar Suite with Ghost Drugs We have Tim Pritchard of that band here in the studio. How you doing, Tim?
I'm doing all right. How you doing? All right.
I'm doing very well. So Tim, tell us about the new record, Further In, Farther Out.
Well, it's going to be out, further out, and actually out this Saturday, April 28th, and we're really excited about it. It's been something we've been working on for a couple of years now, since our last release, and just absolutely stoked to get it out there for public consumption. We appreciate you all and several others giving us some airtime ahead of the release. And
oh, it's our pleasure. So where did you record the new record?
well, I have a studio space right here in Dayton, Ohio, close to UD actually, where we do most of our live tracking. And I also have a little bit of a project studio set up at home, which is great because I like to kind of work spontaneously and sporadically. Whenever I can fit it in, whenever inspiration strikes or the amp is sounding really good and it's like, man, I should just record right now. So I kind of split time between those two spaces, do most of the live tracking at our studio space at YTAA, and then I do a lot of the kind of post-production creative work, overdubbing in my space at home.
Oh, sure. So how would you compare this to like Life on the Limb or some of the earlier records?
Well, this record is very collaborative, and Boxcar Suite's been together for a while now. It's probably actually the longest running lineup of people I've had playing my material, in a band that I'm fronting.
Yeah.
So that's been really exciting, and it's also given everyone in the band an opportunity to contribute more to the writing process, where Across the Vast and Deep, the first one that came out under the Boxcar Suite moniker, was sort of a document of the band being formed, and some of that material was written before the band existed, and some was written kind of for the band. I think if you listen to that record now, it's, at least in hindsight for me, it's more apparent. Like, oh, that sounds that way because I was writing for that band, and some of the material was more like the Boxcar Suite backing Tim Pritchard or whatever. Everyone's always been involved in writing their parts and contributing that way. But Life on the Limb was sort of intermediate. Life on the Limb was a handful of songs that were recorded around the same time that we did Across the Vast and Deep, and didn't necessarily fit on that record, but we still really liked. And I was tweaking out my recording space at that time, just kind of getting adjusted, and Life on the Limb was kind of a nice short project to really dial that in. And it was around that time we started recording for this record, Further and Farther Out, and we're also doing a lot of writing together. So this record, I still write most of the lyrics, although Phil Cavaness contributes some to that, but a lot of the ideas for songs came from things that Tony Moore brought to the band, our guitar player. Like, hey guys, I was working on a couple riffs, let's play with them, jam on them, and we would do so for a few weeks at rehearsals, and then some of those inspired me to write songs, and some of the songwriting really just happened in the practice space too. So it was a roundabout way to say it was a much more collaborative process.
You're very descriptive. I mean, that's wonderful the way you describe that whole process.
Yeah. Well, it was really enjoyable for me.
And it sounds really, really like a wonderful collaboration to me.
Oh, we have a great time with those guys. Tony Moore, Phil Cavaness, and Trevor Bell, along with myself. I'm super lucky to have that lineup.
And you sound so good together.
Thank you.
This new record is fantastic in my opinion.
Thank you so
I've been
much.
listening to it for a while. I think I got an early copy thanks to you.
Yes.
Now, it's officially out Friday.
Saturday.
It's officially out
Yes.
Saturday. Okay, so it's not Friday, Saturday.
Splitting hairs, but yeah.
Yeah, well, one is right and the other isn't. So it's out Saturday, which is the same night as the CD release, as the album
Yes. We had a quick, very short run for Record Store Day last weekend at Omega Music, but otherwise, records haven't been available to the public until this Saturday at Yellow Cab, and then we'll have them out everywhere in all stores and on the internet and everything.
So anywhere you can get it.
Anywhere you can get it. We always encourage people support Omega Music right here in Dayton, Ohio. Come see us at the show. That's always a fun way to pick up music. It's out on vinyl, which is a limited release, so if you're interested in that, get on it soon. But yeah, the music will be available however you consume music: streaming, digital download, CD, and vinyl.
So tell me about the release show. So you're playing Saturday,
Yeah.
Yellow Cab?
Yeah, we're at Yellow Cab Tavern, one of our very favorite places.
Great place.
We just have a great time there. We played this a while back in collaboration with 10 High Productions. Those guys are
Also
gracious to
fine
work with
fellows,
us.
yes.
Yeah, they're movers and shakers in this area and put on a lot of good shows. They offered to help us with this one and work with us and the staff at Yellow Cab to really make a production out of it. So it's going to be a really fun night. Great bands on the bill along with us. Seth Kanan and the Carriers.
We're fantastic.
Yeah, great, just rock and roll, pop sensible three-piece that we discovered about a year ago. I mean, other people had heard of them, but we discovered them for ourselves about a year ago. We totally discovered those guys. Then they got signed and famous way before we ever had a chance. No, they're fantastic. And then Speaking Sons, who have also been around for a few years now and put out an incredible record last year.
Yeah.
So couldn't have asked for a better lineup as far as I'm concerned.
Can I convince you to play a song for us here in the studio?
Yeah, I can play.
What you got for us?
Well, I'll do a couple off the new record.
That seems a good approach.
Yeah. So I'm always tempted to play brand new stuff, but I'm trying to promote it.
If you're just joining us, this is Tim Pritchard of the Boxcar Suite. They have a brand new record, Further In, Farther Out. The album release show is at the Yellow Cab Tavern this Saturday. You should go, but if you can't, the record will be available in any way you can get it. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tim Pritchard.
Thanks so much. This is called The Power. Not all has been lost or squandered in vain. Not every door been open to the rain. But I'd be lying to you if I denied these blues or tried to lose the noose around my neck. 'Cause we're going down, down, down and out of it. Too damn proud to quit. I gave too much away, it ain't no reason to celebrate. So let's drink up and forget it. Is there a place where we could go to live at a quiet hour? I'd give it all away if I had anything left, or if I had the power. Coffee, wine, moon and sun, shake, stagger, then I'm done. Homespun, nothing but love in oblivion. Right on the roof calling cuckoo. Well, I'd never lie to you. I'd bear it all and barely even make it through. 'Cause we're going down, down, down and out of it. Too damn proud to quit. I gave too much away, it ain't no reason to celebrate. So let's drink up and forget it. Is there a place where we could go to live at a quiet hour? I'd give it all away if I had anything left, or if I had the power. Going down, down, down and out of it. Too damn proud to quit. I gave too much away, it ain't no reason to celebrate. So let's drink up and forget it. Is there a place where we could go and live at a quiet hour? I'd give it all away if I had anything left, or if I had the power. I'd give it all away if I had anything left, or if I had the power. Oh, if if I had the power.
Lovely.
Thanks. Just getting warmed up there.
Yeah. Is there a story behind that? I mean, it seems like there's some subtext going on.
Well, there's always a story, and I always say I kind of prefer to leave the particulars up to the listener, because I always find that fun to
their
get
interpretation.
engaged in a song. But I'd say, you know, the theme of that song is just dealing with the natural desperation of, you know, the bittersweet nature of life.
Wow, that, my friend, is poetic.
I don't know. I think hopefully that's just, you know, something everyone can relate to. We all like to have a good time. I have a great time most of the time, but everyone encounters problems. And
Sure.
I think everyone can relate to the idea of sometimes just not really know how to get to the next day.
Right. Sure.
But we figure out a way.
Agreed.
Life finds a way.
Well, at least we hope.
Right. Yes. It should be an encouraging song.
Yeah. No. I think it's brilliant, and your voice is perfect on that.
Oh,
just
thank you.
Incredible. Have you been working on your voice? I mean, you just seem to get better and better.
Well, I appreciate that, and that's always the goal. I sing a lot because I'm constantly recording and playing solo and with the band, and I think I've gotten stronger. Yes,
I think so.
I try to get stronger. I'm not a formally trained singer or anything. You know, I just go for it, and hopefully that means I get better.
Well, I know we've talked before when you've been on the show that it took you a while to kind of get used to the sound of your voice and the feel of your voice.
Yeah, I think I have an odd voice in a way that I like now, but I didn't always. And I think there was a time, which I think is fairly natural for singers trained or untrained to try to sound like people they like.
Yeah.
And of course we're all going to be influenced. You know, I've got influences I wear on my sleeve, I'm sure, but I think I've reached a point where I sing natural. You know, I try not to put a false affectation.
Sure.
Which is something that kind of bothers me. Like when I hear a singer, I want them to sound like themselves.
Right.
And I think I get that much done anyway.
Can we get another song or two from you?
Sure. Let's try a waltz this time, also off the new record. Listen, 'cause I know you're listening, and I've learned the dancing, the gaze of your eyes. Fix you a drink, settle the thinking. Well, I'm much obliged to get off a bit high. Nothing you need, oh, it's hard to believe. The grace of communion suffice your mind. I hope you're sharing, the beggars are bearing, and holding their glass for a taste of your wine. Live to regret it, I doubt it, I love it. I preach till I'm parched and my cup runneth dry. Follow the leader, deceiver, for I taste not that of your own humble pie. Knowledge has shaken the very foundation, spitting image out your full buzzing, breaking the edict, 'cause there's no end inside.
Beautiful, just beautiful.
Thank you, Art.
Have you always played guitar, Tim?
Well, yeah, since I was a kid, I've always played guitar. I picked up guitar, I think, primarily because I was interested in writing songs, and for the longest time, I just knew enough guitar to write songs. And then I got into some things like I played in a jazz band in high school. I did not get good at playing jazz. Let me preface by saying I totally realized that, but it informed a lot of what I learned to write and these words and stuff. And then as an adult, I've been in these rock and roll bands and then play a little lead and stuff.
So in case you're just joining us, this is Mr. Tim Pritchard of the Boxcar Suite. They have a new record, Further In, Farther Out, that they're releasing this Saturday at the Yellow Cab Tavern with some fine other musicians. It is a terrific record, which I heartily recommend. And go there, buy some t-shirts, buy some CDs. Will vinyl be available as well at the show?
Absolutely. We're proud to have pressed some vinyl with Got a Groove up in Cleveland, and got it for you.
Oh, very nice. Should, sadly enough, you can't get there, everything will also be available through all of your usual retail outlets. We especially like Omega Records here in town. Wherever you are, support your local record stores. Can we get another tune from you? One more?
One more?
Can
Sure.
We do one more?
I'll try the closing tune off of Further In and Farther Out. It's called Hard to Deliver. I walk through miles and miles on the streets of this town, through fields of grain and across the outbound. Kick rocks off the bridge, I know I'm letting you down. Time gives me the shivers, 'cause whenever I pass that old place I regress in a childish ways. The things I regret, like every mystic, wears the same prom dress to bed with whomever. Go it alone, sink like a stone before it's been thrown. God, I've got an alibi, the devil's on my right hand side. Goddamn this place, goddamn my pride. Someday I'll flow like a river. Letters full of compliments, if you're my own, I ain't never sent. Somebody out there is probably getting there. It's been hard to deliver when the chariot comes to take me away. Somebody will have to break the shackles and chains that leave me bound to earthly pleasures and pain. It's been hard to get severed. Go it alone. Sing like a stone before it's been thrown. God, I've got an alibi. The devil's on my right hand side. God damn this place. God damn my pride. Today I'll be clever and I'll flow like a river.
Lovely. That's just lovely.
Thank you, Art.
So, in case you are joining us, this is Tim Pritchard of the Boxcar Suite. This is your Tuesday afternoon alternative on WUDR, Dayton, Ohio, student-run radio from the University of Dayton. Rocking the Gem City music in all directions. Support your local music scene. So, Tim, thanks for coming in and talking with us a little bit.
Thank you so much.
So, tell us again, run through. You got the show coming up on Saturday. Do you have any other shows in the pipe?
Yeah, I probably should have written them down. we will have some shows. Our guitar player, Tony Moore, and his wife are expecting a baby very soon. Almost too close for comfort.
Uh-oh.
We're very happy for them, and Boxcar Suite will probably be off for most of May. Shouldn't say off. We're recording.
Oh.
We're making another record, and so the rest of us will be in the studio. But we'll be back in June. We've got a few tentative things. We are playing at the Jewish Cultural Festival at Temple Israel, June 11th, which is kind of been an annual tradition for us. We go and play songs by Bob Dylan and
Nice.
Leonard Cohen and famous artists of Jewish heritage. And
Right.
then some of our own stuff. And then we've got a handful of tentative things that coming up this summer, which I probably won't say dates yet, just because it's still kind of in the works. But yeah, we'll be playing a lot this summer.
So this Saturday, Yellow Cab Tavern, fine venue, some terrific music. Headliners, the Boxcar Suite, who have a new record, Further In, Farther Out, which I have been listening to for a few weeks now. Love it to pieces. I especially like Time Machine, and I was so happy to find there was a version of Time Machine that I could play. although now, when I come on after that song, I just tell people to keep on trucking.
Right. You got to be trucking in your time machine.
Yeah, of course.
We've got a trucking time machine that it's all over the place. Yeah, we had to make sure the whole album could get played on the radio.
Right, and that was the only one I remember listening to it going, oh, everyone's going to be asking for that song when they hear the record, and you had already prepared.
Yeah. There was one sort of bad joke on that song that we just enjoyed a little too much to leave off the record. So.
Really? Oh, just doing that,
Yeah.
saying that, yeah.
But trucking time machine is a bad enough joke as it is.
Yeah, well, see, that totally works for me.
No, that's actually kind of a funny story, just because that was a lyrical substitution that we made on the fly at the Miami Valley Music Fest one year when we realized it was the cutest little girl that just wandered up to the stage, probably not even 6 years old.
Oh no.
Seemed to love our band, so I looked at Phil real quick, and from then on, it's been the trucking time machine.
Well, as it should be, right? If a DeLorean could go back to the future, surely a truck could too.
Yeah, seriously. I drive a Ford Ranger, and
exactly. There you go.
I travel through time all the time.
Well, you're listening to WUDR Dayton. This is Tim Pritchard of the Boxcar Suite, who was so kind enough to come in and play for us, talk about their new record, Further In, Farther Out, Yellow Cab Tavern, this Saturday. Seth Kanan and the Carriers, and
Speaking Sons.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Without the poster in front of me,
Oh, sure.
I talk about so many shows, and you do not want to get it wrong.
You've kept track of it very well. I'm impressed, actually. But yeah, it's Kanan and the Carriers and Speaking Sons. You're getting it going for us.
And what time are doors for that?
Doors are 8 o'clock, and music will start at 9. So those of you who aren't used to the Yellow Cab format, they're pretty on time.
They're punctual.
Yeah. So we say it starts at 9, and it'll be, within 5 to 10 minutes of that. No waiting around until 10.
Right.
That way everyone can come to the show, and if you have to get up the next day, you're not out too late.
Right.
We'll be out pretty late.
Well, do you have any cool versions of songs? Any surprises planned for Saturday that we could hint at? Because to talk about it would ruin the surprise.
Yeah, I will say there'll be some surprises that night. We've got some cool audio-visual things going on. We're making this a little bit more than just your average drop-in and see 3 bands. I mention the pre-sale for tickets?
Or absolutely.
Okay. I know some radio stations
we do not
careful, but working with 10 High and Yellow Cab, we set up a pre-sale, which means that if you jump on it, you can get tickets for $7. They are $10 at the door. But like I said, really making an event out of it. I think that's highly worth it just for the 2 bands that are playing before us. We'll have a lot of fun there, audio visuals. I guess I'll announce this. We'll play this album start to finish.
Okay.
And then we've got some surprises. We'll pull out some older songs for those that have been listening to us for a while. And we will debut some brand new material that I'm super excited about. I'm excited about this record, but at this point I'm at the point of really kind of wanting to show the new stuff too.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
We're always working. So.
Well, when you were talking about that earlier. So when you're always recording and working on that and thinking about new music, to you these songs are probably a year old, in some cases
at
longer.
Least, yeah. We finished recording this record in the last summer.
Yeah.
And then, it takes a while to get a proper mix and mastering and everything, and we put it out on vinyl. We'll put it out on vinyl, which takes a little bit of time too, just to get that process done. So yeah, everything's a year plus old, even the recordings.
so it's new to the person in the audience you've lived with for a long time.
Yeah. But we plan to follow. We love making albums. We're always going to make albums, but I think another priority for us is just to get with the times and put out some digital singles and stuff in between. So there'll be lots of new music on the horizon.
Oh, that's very cool. So Tim Pritchard, the Boxcar Suite, this Saturday, Yellow Cab Tavern. Their brand new record, Further In, Farther Out, will be available then. You can go and get it there and hang out. I highly recommend that you do that. If you can't, you can get it through all of the usual retail outlets and online. And of course, as we like to do on this program, and I'm sure I'm not alone in that, at least I'd really like to hope not, go to a record store. Go to an actual record store, whether it's Skeleton Dust or Omega Music or whatever, Toxic Beauty if you're in Yellow Springs, or wherever you might be listening to this program. For my friends in Sweden or in London, there are record stores there too. There are record stores everywhere. Go support that community that's tied to music.
Shout out to My Mind's Eye in Cleveland for picking up this record right away. Just like Omega and Skeleton Dust and Toxic, they're a super cool independent. We'll have some places in Columbus and Cincy that have it right away too.
Well, Tim, thanks so much for coming in.
Oh, thank you very much, Ari. I love this show. It's an honor to be part of it.
Oh, you're too kind.
And I will come back anytime you want.
Yeah, we got to come back. I mean, of course, I'd like to have you and Todd in here to talk about Shrug and the Neverly Brothers and that sort of. My mom-in-law wanted me to ask about the Neverly Brothers.
Yeah.
Because she's a huge Everly Brothers fan. And she was actually at the last Shrug show at Yellow Cab Tavern.
Oh, good deal.
And so she enjoyed the music tremendously. And then when I mentioned, well, these two guys actually do an Everly Brothers thing, she's like, get out.
Yeah, Neverly Brothers is something that Todd and I just recently kicked up. And it's basically, an intentional acoustic duo, kind of harmony-centric, so we both do a lot of singing. It's not, as the name might suggest, it's not an Everly Brothers cover band exclusively. But we do some Everlys in every set. We play some of Todd's songs, some of mine, and a few of our favorite tunes by artists we really love, including the Everlys.
Well, good deal. Thank you so much for coming in, Tim. Really, really appreciate it.
My pleasure, sincerely.
And since we talked about it, I think we've got to play Time Machine.
Oh, please do.
So this is exactly. Whether or not you have a truck or not, this is an excellent song. It is I'm trying to think. It's like song 7 on the record. So it's Ways?
6 actually.
6. Okay.
So it's a
Like almost
side
like
2-track one.
Yeah. There you go.
If you pick up vinyl.
Well, there you go. This is the fantastic song Time Machine from the Boxcar Suite. You can go see them this Saturday at Yellow Cab Tavern. Tim, thank you so much, man.
My pleasure. Thank you, Art.
It really is. I absolutely adore this record.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. It's validating to